if you don't look like this on a Saturday morning when you don't have to work and all you need to do is clean your kitchen and make some candy, you're doing it wrong. I'll be back. That's my butter girl. Okay, let's make some Christmas candy, cracker crack. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, fine. All right, so for the cracker crack, you are gonna need a big sheet pan like this, nice and clean. We are gonna spray it with some Pam cooking spray, something like that, because this candy is sticky and it will stick. All right, next we are gonna need a sleeve and a half of saltine crackers, and we are gonna lay them out in a single layer on the pan. Okay, hold on. All right, so that's what your pan is gonna look like. If they're a little overlapped a little bit, you know, some spaces in between, just fill up your pan. That's really what you're doing. Next, you're gonna get out a good heavy bottom pot. This is my cast iron enamel pot from Lodge that I bought used. It's got some chips on it, and but they're on the outside, so it still cooks good. And it's my favorite pot to use for candy making and for soups. All right, so you're gonna stick 2 sticks of butter into your pan, and I'm not gonna make you watch me unwrap it. I'll be okay. We have our butter. Y'all we're looking at the corner now. Don't look at the corner. Look at us. Okay, so you have got your 2 sticks of butter. You have a packed cup of brown sugar, and we are gonna turn our heat onto a medium-high to melt the butter, and then we're gonna add the sugar in at the same time. Now remember, when you are measuring your brown sugar is measured as a packed cup. You have to pack it in. Flour, you do not pack, or you're gonna have too much flour in your recipe. But brown sugar, you're gonna pack it in because you really want it. So here we go with that. And it's gonna take a few minutes for this butter to melt and the sugar to come together. And you are gonna bring it up to a slow boil. And I'm gonna show you what that's gonna look like in just a minute. All right, so this is what it's gonna look like while it's melting. It's gonna start getting real dark. And I did use dark brown sugar. You can use dark or light, it doesn't matter. The butter has some water content to it, and so it is gonna look a little liquidy and a little watery. Don't worry about that. That'll cook down in the boiling process once it comes to a boil. But essentially what we're making here is toffee. And so you're literally making the candy right now with these 2 ingredients. You are going to need some vanilla in a little while, so while this is melting down, if you want to gather up some vanilla, you want to go ahead and get some chocolate chips. And I'm not going to have enough to do this whole thing, but we're going to make it work because that's what we do in a home kitchen. And then I've got some chopped pecans, and we can use pecans, walnuts, sprinkles, really anything you want to use. So, all right, we're going to keep going, and this is going to come to a boil, and I'll come back. All right, you guys, and just that fast, we have come up to a boil. It is starting to boil, it's bubbling, and we're just going to stir constantly, but we are going to set our timer for 3 minutes, and you do want to go ahead and preheat your oven to 375. All right, so we're going to boil for 3 minutes, just like this, continuously stirring. All right, we're about halfway through the 3 minutes. This is what it is looking like. Be sure you're scraping the sides of your pan because that crystallization is going to be important. So you got to scrape that down off the sides and just keep letting it go. Got about another minute to stir it. All right, you guys, it has been 3 minutes. I have cut the heat, and I'm going to go ahead and add a big splash of vanilla. And I know you're like, oh, vanilla's not going to make that big a difference in the taste. You absolutely can taste the vanilla in this recipe. All right, so now that I have stirred in the vanilla really good, I'm going to get rid of my wooden spoon. And yes, you do want to use a wooden spoon for this. And I'm going to grab my hot pads and pour it over my crackers. Pour it as evenly as you can without burning yourself, because this is candy and it is melted sugar and it is like lava. Okay, so we're going to pour that out. Give it a good shake because we got to get it out. All right. Set your pan to the side. We'll clean it up later. It's going to be sticky, and that's okay. I have an offset spatula. If you don't have one, just use a butter knife. And we are just going to spread this out over our crackers, just like that. All right, be back when we're done. All right, so once you have all of your crackers covered with your candy, and we're moving quickly with this, we are going to stick this in the oven for literally 5 minutes. 375 for 5 minutes. Hey y'all, guess what? While it's in my oven cooking for 5 minutes, I found some more chocolate chips. I knew I had some. Okay, now, it's been 5 minutes. I've got it out of the oven, and I am going to instantly put chocolate chips on there. You need about 2 cups of chocolate chips in order for this to work perfectly. You're just going to put them right onto the candy. So I started with my Ghirardelli because I had those open. Now I got my fancy Great Value semi-sweet chips. And so I'm going to put some of those on there. And I think that's going to be enough. Leave them sitting for just a little while. That heat is going to melt them. And I'm going to show you how we do that. If you need to put it in the oven with the oven off for a little while, that residual heat will help melt it. Alright, so I'm going to start spreading this chocolate out. And you want to get it corner to corner as much as you can, just like with the candy. Give me a few minutes and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, now that you've got all your chocolate melted and spread out corner to corner, we are going to top it with chopped pecans. So that's what I'm doing. And it, as much or as little as you like, I'm just going to give it a little sprinkle. And then when I break all this up, everything will have some pecans on it. Now, you can toast these up if you want to at first, but you do not have to. This is going to go into my freezer for just a little while and let that candy set and let the chocolate set, okay? Okay, they have set and it is time to take out your aggression. Are we ready for it? I'm ready, let's go. You can get a knife or a hammer or anything, start cracking it all up, okay? Break it apart with your hands. This is hilarious. Yeah, so just once you fry it up off your heat, start breaking it into little serving pieces so that people can grab a little piece and get a taste. And keep going until you're done. Okay, get you a container. This one I got from the Dollar Tree for $1.25 because it's not the Dollar Tree anymore. And you can just fill up your little tin with all these little pieces. And that way you have a way to store it and you have a way to gift it to someone that you care about. Or take it to work or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to keep filling this up and that is it. All these little pieces that you don't pick up and put in the bowl, you can make them smaller pieces and then put them on ice cream like I was talking about in my last video. Thank you so much for joining me. Christmas Cracker Crack. Sorry the video's so long. I love you guys. It's been a really long time since I did a recipe video. And let me know if you want some more.